seconds left. Wickham, another look to tie. You bet!
Tonight on Cronkite News, the Mercury are a step closer to a playoff win while the Diamondbacks are working to secure a spot. We'll have reaction from a woman-owned sports bar about the WNBA win.
Plus, the Diamondbacks continue their series against the Dodgers in the last 5-game push for the wild card spot.
And Adelita Grijalva takes the special election, adding to a growing number of women in Arizona political leadership. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Aiden Blank.
And I'm Farah Bojalid. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, we'll begin up north in Minnesota, where the Mercury took on the Lynx in Game 2 of their semifinal series. The Mercury went into the game looking to tie up the series after dropping Game 1. The Lynx used momentum from Game 1. By halftime, the Lynx had a 16-point lead. Minnesota would expand that lead to 20 in the third quarter. Before, in a similar fashion to what the Lynx did in Game 1, the Mercury began to mount a comeback. By the end of the fourth quarter, the Mercury had fought all the way back to the game before winning in overtime. And with the team being on the road, Mercury fans are showing their pride beyond the arena this postseason.
Yeah, and at One Valley Sports Bar, you could feel that energy the moment you walked in. Let's go to Keon Russell. He's in the Cronkite Sports Bureau and was out at Title IX Bar during last night's game. Keon, what was that experience like?
Yeah, guys, the atmosphere was like no other there in Title IX, and it's all because of the Phoenix Mercury. So many people from around the valley came to witness history with that comeback win against the Minnesota Lynx. Fans aren't just watching from home. They're packing into Title IX Sports Bar right here in Arizona to cheer on the Mercury. The bar, dedicated solely to women's sports, has become a gathering place for those who want to celebrate together. And as the postseason continues for the Mercury, each win brings even more people through the doors, all united by their love for the team and their passion for the game.
The love of women's sports, and that's what we're here for. It's an amazing feeling to bring people together to celebrate our Phoenix Mercury and just all women's sports.
It's really nice to have a place that you can go to with like-minded people that appreciate women's sports specifically and just really enjoy cheering on their team and having a great time doing it.
The Mercury will be back in town Friday night for Game 3, and you can count on the Valley showing up once again to show their support.
And Keon, you've covered this team throughout the playoffs. What are your thoughts heading into Game 3?
Belief and confidence. Those two are at an all-time high right now for this Mercury group. After getting down by 20 points in the third quarter, the team showed no panic and instead rose to the occasion. A big-time three in regulation from Sammy Whitcomb and the leadership of Alyssa Thomas in OT led this team to making history. They look to carry that momentum over into Game 3 on Friday as the Mercury eye a 2-1 series lead over the Minnesota Lynx. In the Sports Bureau, Keon Russell, Cronkite News.
And now to the other tenant of PHX Arena, the Suns holding their annual media day today, and a lot of questions for a team that finished well below expectations last year.
Yes, the Suns had a complete makeover this offseason, getting a new coach and getting rid of Kevin Durant. And now joining us from PHX Arena, Cronkite News reporter Jacob Shanker has the latest from the Suns media day. Jacob, what is the latest from the team?
Suns owner Matt Ishbia had tempered expectations for his team this year, as he said success would not be measured strictly by wins and losses. He not only is changing the makeup of the team, but is looking to establish a new culture as well. He and the coach Jordan Odd, as well as some of the players, are looking for a fresh start.
We basically, after last season, we said, hey, that old stuff, what we didn't work. Let's get it done the right way. Let's build identity. Let's get alignment across the board. Let's be on the same page of what we're going to be doing.
I want the fans, when they walk out of these doors, to be saying, that team plays unbelievably hard. They're competitive, they're resilient, they're tough, they play together.
With all of the turnover, Devin Booker remains the one constant on the team, and you can expect the superstar to be a vocal leader.
But it's also our job as coaches to fit the play style and what we do offensively around the guys that we have. And for that, we're lucky. We're very lucky that we do have multiple ball handlers. It's going to put some of those guys in a position that they haven't been in, and that part is exciting. And we're all going to try to find solutions that best fits us to win that night.
Yeah, the leadership aspect is going to be more important than ever this year. Just realizing our roster, the age of our roster, just the experience that I've had and what I've seen. So I'm going to do what I can. I'm always going to use my voice.
The Suns open training tomorrow, but they will have to gel pretty quickly as their first preseason game comes October 3rd against the Lakers in Palm Desert. Then they head to China for a pair of games against the Brooklyn Nets. In Phoenix, Jacob Shanker, Cronkite News.
The Suns will open their season at home on October 22nd.
Yeah, they're going to face the Sacramento Kings before traveling to L.A. to face the L.A. Clippers. And right next door, it's another day, another pivotal game for the Diamondbacks. This time, Arizona waited until its last swing of the bat to secure the win in walk-off fashion. The D-backs were down 4-3 before the ninth inning, but after a walk, a bunt, a sac fly, and a swing of the bat from Geraldo Perdomo, the game was decided. Tim Tawa scored this from second, and the stadium celebrated almost like Arizona's playoff sweep against the Dodgers 2 years ago. Our reporter Christopher Zavaios has more on the D-backs' dramatic push for the postseason.
With 5 games left, the Diamondbacks are in the midst of a heated race for the final NL wildcard spot with the Mets and the Reds. The Diamondbacks would hold a tiebreaker over the Mets, but not the Reds. Manager Torey Lovullo has his team ready to return to the postseason and expect his players to fight until the very end.
I do love drama. I'm not going to lie. I love having to figure out a solution in the most critical periods of time. But we know what's in front of us, and our guys are very relaxed because we have walked through this 2 of the past 3 years. And this is not unfamiliar territory to us.
We just started stacking series wins on top of each other. And, next thing you know, it's like, okay, we're mathematically still in this thing. Let's just keep playing until we got to go home. So yeah, I think guys are just having fun with it. I think it's a lot easier to be the hunter than the hunted.
The road to the postseason won't be easy as the Diamondbacks close the season against the Dodgers and Padres, 2 teams that have already punched their ticket to October. San Diego and Los Angeles are in a heated battle for the top spot in the NL West, which doesn't help the Diamondbacks. Drama is at an all-time high here in Phoenix, and a fitting way to end the Diamondbacks season.
Hey, thanks for the update, Chris. Tonight's game is underway at Chase Field, the second out of a 3-game series. And coming up next, as the D-backs continue their playoff push, Phoenix Rising begins their own campaign for the postseason.
The Rising hope to win against Oklahoma Roots here in Arizona on Saturday. We'll have a look at how the team is preparing for its last 4 games coming up on Cronkite News.
What kind of weather can we expect on Friday for the ASU game? Well, we'll tell you after the break with your 8-day forecast here on Cronkite News.
This is where Cronkite can be creative.
When I was younger, there were no engineers around me, so I had to become my own role model. At ASU, I wasn't just learning to be an engineer, I was actually engineering. And graduating, I already had real-world jobs lined up. Before ASU, my goal was to be a strong, confident woman. And when I left, I became a strong, confident engineer.
Welcome back to Cronkite News. The Cardinals return home after a heartbreaking loss.
Oh, but they can't dwell on that too long as they welcome in another divisional foe, the Seattle Seahawks. And it'll be a tough test for the Cards on Thursday night, who are looking to keep pace in a division where no team has a losing record. And on the offensive side of the ball, the Cardinals know exactly what to expect with the challenges of Mike Macdonald's offense.
So a lot of familiarity with him in the system. It's a really talented group. I think they've done a great job of building that roster. And then the scheme is dynamic. You know, they mix personnels, they mix front structures, a lot of different coverage and pressure looks. I think Mike does a really nice job. It's going to be a big challenge for us.
It'll be extra challenging for the Cardinals offensively, especially with the loss of James Conner. The offense has gotten off to a slow start over their first 3 games, ranking in the bottom half of the league in multiple statistics. Facing them is a Seattle defense that is taking flight. Their defense is yet to allow a team over 20 points or 2 touchdowns in any of their 3 games. Which side rises to the occasion could be a deciding factor in the outcome.
Phoenix Rising are coming off a 2-2 draw against Loudoun United last Saturday, as for the second consecutive week Rising had to come back from a 2-goal deficit, scoring the equalizing goals after the 80th minute. Rising are in 7th place in a cluttered Western Conference with 5 games left in the season. They're hoping to be one of those 8 teams to advance to the playoffs. Rising are unbeaten in their last 5 games, but 4 of those results were draws. Head coach Pama Duka believes his team can rise from ashes and get their first win in over a month.
But it's one thing that I know that this group have, and I know not everybody can see it, but the driving spirit, what everything has happened to us so far this year, they keep coming. They keep coming back. They keep standing up, right? We get knocked down, we keep standing up, and that shows that it's there. Now is for the last 5 games, can we just find a little lighter to it and light that fire, and we can continue to go.
Rising Soccer is back home on Saturday as they will host Oakland Roots SC. Looking to stay in the playoff picture, kickoff at 7 p.m.
Before Rising has its home game on Saturday, ASU has its on Friday. After the winning field goal on the road against Baylor last weekend, they are facing a short week as they gear up for another tough test. The Sun Devils look to carry over momentum as they gear up for another one of the Big 12's top quarterbacks in Jacob Hoover and an undefeated TCU team. While TCU looks to gain their first conference win of the season, ASU tries to move to 2-0 in the Big 12 and remain undefeated inside Mountain America Stadium. It'll be on the Sun Devil defense to slow down a TCU offense that has scored more than 35 points in each of their games. And while the defense has been a tough test, the offense should be getting a big boost. Running back Kyson Brown expected to go for the full game on Friday night. And speaking of ASU football, let's hope that weather holds up. Storms may be on the way.
Edward Neiman joins us from the Cronkite Weather Center with a look at what fans can expect.
Welcome into the Cronkite Weather Center. We're monitoring the increased chances of rain and thunderstorms as we move into the weekend. That's not going to play a factor, though, for your Wednesday evening. Clear conditions throughout the Phoenix area. 101 is your degree at 7 o'clock, and that's going to cool down into 95 degrees at 10 p.m. Clear conditions throughout the rest of the night. Look at your high temperatures for tomorrow. 106 degrees here in the valley, so still pretty warm. 85 up in Sedona, 77 up north at the Grand Canyon. Down in Tucson, you're going to stay under the triple-digit mark at 97 degrees. We're monitoring this low pressure system that's moving in from the west. This is what's going to ramp up our chances for showers and thunderstorms. Really, Friday evening, you're looking at 7:30 p.m. Scattered showers around the Phoenix area, especially along the eastern side of the state of Arizona. This is going to hang around. You go into Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock, really widespread showers all throughout the state. And this is going to hang around in the area until Sunday, and eventually it's going to push up and out of the viewing area to the north. That's going to set up for a dry weekend. 106 is your high tomorrow, but that's going to cool off after that. 87 on Friday, 94 on Saturday, 89 on Sunday. And look at those low temperatures in the low 70s, so below average for this time of year. But once again, that window for showers and thunderstorms spans from Thursday all the way into Sunday. So if you have any weekend plans, we have the tailgate on Thursday for the Arizona Cardinals game, and then of course the ASU football game on Friday could be facing the risk of showers and thunderstorms. That'll do it from the Cronkite Weather Center. I'm Edward Neiman.
Hey, thanks, Edward. Coming up next, we've got the latest in local Arizona news, including special election results and a new Scottsdale road policy making standing on medians illegal.
Plus, a shooting at an ice facility. What investigators have released about the shooter's motives coming up on Cronkite News.
I grew up in a small border town, and water was really important to us. Without enough water, we can't farm, we can't eat, we can't live. And the way we're doing it right now, straight up doesn't have a future. I went to ASU because this is a place where you solve problems. With vertical farming, we can grow the same amount of food with 95% less water than traditional farming. The work I'm doing at ASU is changing the way I look at the world.
3, 2, 1.
Coming up on the cut.
Coming up on the cut. Coming up on the cut.
How students can build their broadcast journalism portfolio with opportunities to learn more about on-air reporting and studio production.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at @thecut_network and on X at @CutASU.
The scientists and engineers that support the next mission to Mars could be in this class.
Getting a degree at ASU is a journey that can take you anywhere. Into a world of groundbreaking technology and renowned award-winning faculty. Professors who help you to impact the world. Whether you're on campus or at home, becoming your best starts with learning from the best.
Welcome back to Cronkite News. I'm Emily Fox-Millian with a look at tonight's news headlines. We begin tonight with Congresswoman-elect Adelita Grijalva, the winner of yesterday's special election in Arizona District 7, which means she will assume the seat left open by her late father, Raul Grijalva. Cronkite News reporter Macy Markham joins us now from the newsroom with more on her new role.
Yeah, Grijalva plans to carry on her father Raul's legacy, requesting to join the same committees that he sat on during his 22-year tenure. It was an emotional night, noting that her campaign launched just 2 weeks after she lost her father to cancer. Amid unified chants and tearful thanks,
And I will be forever grateful.
Democrat Congresswoman-elect Adelita Grijalva made history in Arizona's 7th District as the first Latina woman to represent Arizona in the United States House of Representatives.
More than 50 years ago, my dad started a movement.
One that Adelita will now carry on. Turnout was low, with less than 90,000 recorded votes, but she still dominated the race with nearly 70% of the vote against Republican Daniel Gutierrez, the same man who challenged her father just last year.
Tell you what I have learned the most from this is that the Republicans haven't been reaching out into the South Side. They haven't reached out to the Hispanic community.
As Grijalva and her supporters celebrated her path to Washington, she prepares to join Representative Yasemin Ansari, the only other female representative from State 48.
I think that we're going to be able to work really well together because ultimately what we want is what's best for Arizona.
Arizona is now tied for its own record of female representation in the state. Women hold power in the office of the governor, attorney general, treasurer, and now 2 U.S. House seats. Her addition to the U.S. House pushes the needle for women, now making up nearly a third of Congress.
Macy, did she tell you what her first priorities are when she gets to Washington?
She did. She told me she will be the deciding 218th vote on the House petition to release the Epstein files, and she plans to challenge the Trump administration on tariffs. In the newsroom, Macy Markham, Cronkite News.
There's a new Scottsdale ordinance taking effect tomorrow. It bans standing on traffic medians where the speed limit is above 30 miles per hour. Pedestrians can pause while crossing but may not stay there through 2 extra light cycles. Violations are considered a Class 3 misdemeanor with fines of up to $500 and up to 30 days in jail. And the opening of the $1.2 billion Vi Resort in Glendale is delayed again, although it's not clear why. The project was first expected to debut before the 2023 Super Bowl. Developers say the resort will feature a Mattel-themed amusement park and live entertainment. The resort also has faced lawsuits tied to tax incentives and parking design. A look now at news from across the nation. At least one detainee has died and 2 people have been injured after a shooting at a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement field office in Dallas. Authorities say the gunman is also dead from a self-inflicted shot. Officials say no law enforcement officers were injured. The field office in Dallas has held more than 8,000 temporarily detained persons over the first 6 months of President Donald Trump's administration, according to data obtained by the Deportation Data Project. An FBI investigator talked about a possible motive for the shooting earlier today.
Early evidence that we've seen from rounds that were found near the suspected shooter contain messages that are anti-ICE in nature.
The exact motivation for the attack was not immediately known. And a group that focused on supporting women in the military is being terminated. The Pentagon says Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is eliminating the group, officially called the Defense Advisory Committee on Women in the Services. According to a statement on social media, Hegseth says the organization advances a, quote, divisive feminist agenda that hurts combat readiness. The committee began in 1951, around the time women started to take on larger roles in the military. The group also offered advice on topics like body armor, domestic abuse support, and health care. That's it for a look at tonight's news headlines. I'm Emily Fox-Millian. Now back to Aiden and Farah.
Hey, thanks, Emily. Coming up next, NASA launches a program to study what protects Earth from solar wind.
It's called the heliosphere, and it's a big bubble that protects all planets from harmful radiation. What NASA hopes to accomplish from studying this protective shield coming up after the break.
People have always had trouble trying to put me into a box. A professor, suit and tie is just not me. Without the ocean, I don't know what I would do. You know, the ocean's always been there for me. As Hawaiian people, we believe that the coral is the first living being to come out of the darkness. It's the foundation of our entire lifestyle, and that's what my research is about. What we do is we take photographs of the reef over long periods of time to create models that can tell us what the planet is doing. If we go deaf to what the Earth is telling us, then we'll never be able to live in harmony. If I can get my students excited about protecting the ocean, then they're the ones who are gonna really make the difference. I hope my students realize that I'm not trying to prepare them for something in the distant future. Their time is now at Arizona State University.
Innovation at the Walter Cronkite School is pushing the boundaries of traditional journalism.
Storytelling has evolved over the years. This is part of that evolution.
Students in the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Lab are using emerging technology to create scenes in augmented and virtual reality, coding playable games, and bringing the audience into the story.
They're only limited by their imagination and their willingness to learn.
Find out more at cronkite.asu.edu.
Welcome back. The IRS will begin phasing out paper tax refund checks for individuals starting next Tuesday.
The agency said direct deposits is faster, cheaper, and safer for taxpayers. Most people already receive refunds by direct deposit. For those without bank accounts, options like prepaid debit cards and digital wallets will be offered. The IRS is urging taxpayers to update their banking information now to avoid any delays.
Meanwhile, the craft store Michael's is reviving the store Joanne, once its competitor. The retailer will roll out knit and sew shops with Joann's signage in all U.S. and Canadian stores. Michaels will also bring back Joann's famous Big Twist yarn. The company bought Joann's intellectual property earlier this year.
And sales of newly built single-family homes unexpectedly surged by nearly 21% last month. According to government data, that's the highest level new home sales have hit since January 2022. It also far exceeded most predictions from economists. Analysts say this recent sale boom may have been boosted by lower mortgage rates and aggressive efforts from home builders, but some economists say August's strong showing could be a one-month anomaly.
NASA is launching a new space explorer with one big job: to map our cosmic bubble.
It's called the IMAP. It's short for Interstellar Mapping and Acceleration Probe. It's mapping our heliosphere, a short, invisible shield that protects Earth from radiation. It's about the size of a hot tub. IMAP spins every 15 seconds while its instruments keep an eye on space and weather in our solar system. A SpaceX Falcon will send it 1 million miles out, where it will take a closer look at how solar wind is formed and reactions with our heliosphere.
That's it for tonight's edition of Cronkite News. I'm Aiden Blank.
And I'm Farrah Bojalid. Thank you for joining us. And to see top Arizona stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.